I'm excited to announce our guest this week is Dale Chube. Welcome, Dale.
Hey, what's up, Heather?
Dale is the founder of FitLife Academy. And Dale, tell us about you. Where do you live and what do you do?
So I'm out here in the East Coast near New Haven. I work for a therapeutic boarding school in the transition program, and I also run a fitness and nutrition business out here as well, where I do face-to-face clients and also online clients as well.
Awesome. And actually, you gave me, I was going to pull it up, but I don't want to dig it out. You gave me my own FitLife Academy journal, which was, so detailed and thorough. Why did you create that?
So I created a journal because I just needed the structure in my life, like just daily with my nutrition, but also just my daily task about, going from point A to point B to really accomplish the goal. And I, did a lot of planners and did some other journals. And of course, a couple of them definitely got me to my goals here and there, but there's nothing really sustainable that really focused on my mind, but also my body as well. So I wanted to create a system that can hit everything with a 360 approach to it. And that's why I created the Fit Life Journal.
And that's what I love, because living a balanced life, my podcast, my entire message is all about creating, I believe in a trifecta, but the mind, body, and spirit. So that's awesome.
Exactly.
And what we've talked about previously, I want you to kind of dive into this centering yourself and creating balance. You discussed with me 4 different areas. So maybe if you could touch on each of those and then how those 4 have created a balance for you.
Okay, so I'll start with the first area I really focus on is just health, because how you feel is just going to give out that energy to the rest of the world. And so I started with that in my early years when I was a teenager, because I went through a lot of different mental health and emotional health problems during that time. My folks got a divorce, and I was just struggling. And it was a mentor of mine that really just taught me how to work in the gym and to really balance myself out. And that's always been what I consider my therapy is the gym. It allows me just to get my mind and also my body just centered. But then later in my life, in my health journey, I needed to figure something out because this wasn't always sustainable. There was highs and lows. Sometimes I'm very, mellowed out, and then something may happen and I'm still struggling to get back. And so I really needed to figure out how can I make this sustainable. And that's when I really started focusing on nutrition and really what I was putting into my body. And that's right around the time when my son came in my life, because I was like, dude, I have to get this together. And so that's why I really focus on just, the fitness aspect, but also nutrition, of bringing that, I should say, those 2 approaches to your health and really focusing on that to give you that balance. And then the next area I would say is just business. Just like I say, all of us are our own business. One of the speakers I went to a few years ago when I was on this journey of growth, he said, you are your own business and your employer is just a client of yours. And so for you really have to have many clients. That's what you would say, for a business, they just don't have one client. You would have a few clients. So ever since then, I just looked at myself as a business, as not just, he's a trainer or he does this, as my own brand and personal business. And I need to build that up in life. So focusing on that is just another area to, really just grow mentally, emotionally, but just also be able to provide for, my family and what their dreams and what they want to do later on in life. In the next area, just so you have health, you have business, you have inner growth, just always growing and becoming your best self. And that is something I've really taken to these past couple years of I'm just always just trying to just get better. And it's something that just every single day, like I wake up and I just like, how can I really get better today? I know it sounds like cheesy. You hear this all the time from like, the Tony Robbins and the Brendon Burchards, the Lewis Howes and all of them, but it's the truth. Like, how can I get better today? How can I really become the best version of myself for my son, my family, for anyone that I come across? And that's really that's what I'm about. That's what I seek in everything when it comes to, my health, my business, but also what's just the last one, which I feel the last area, which is key, it flows right into relationships, right? Life is all about our relationships and creating just good, positive, and healthy relationships to help us grow and just help us be the best we can possibly be. And so those 4 areas is really what I focus on a daily basis of just getting better and just creating a balanced life.
So I want to touch a little bit more. You briefly discussed nutrition, but as a trainer, and I know a lot of people are into meal prep and what is it that abs are made in the kitchen. So maybe can you touch a little bit more on nutrition? I don't think you can give a one fits all kind of meal plan, but maybe an overall, what does that mean for you?
All right. So this meal planning is something I feel is a must. So nutrition is all about just keeping you going and really fueling yourself to live out your dreams. That's how I see it. So our bodies are a very complex machine that we have to fuel so we can live out what's in our hearts and what's in our minds. And so giving it the best is going to allow us to actually bring out the best in the world. And meal prepping is basically one of those ways to really plan and prepare yourself for that success. And when I talk to clients about nutrition, nutrition is very emotional. Like our first times or experiences with food are usually with our family. So a good example, Heather, what do you usually eat on Thanksgiving with your family?
Obviously all the goods, turkey, mashed potatoes, gravy, my pumpkin cheesecake.
Right. So right now I'm looking at you just got real big and bright when you talked about pumpkin cheesecake. So did you used to make that with your mom or so a certain someone in the family? Did you always make that pumpkin cheesecake or was there a memory behind that?
No, it just tastes really good. I got the recipe from a coworker several years ago, and then I've made it ever since, and it's a huge party pleaser. People love it. So, and it tastes good.
Right. I love cheesecake too. That's my favorite cake. But you just said it like it's a party pleaser. It creates a connection, right? And so there's an emotional connection around that pumpkin cheesecake in that time of having it at Thanksgiving. And so meal prepping is actually breaking some of those emotional links to nutrition some of the time, right? Because, we're always going to have connections to food. It's just a given. But real, true nutrition success is just breaking some of those links most of the time.
Plus,
and when they say abs are made...
Oh, go ahead.
When they say abs are made in the kitchen, yeah, that's true. Of course, you want to have a nice healthy diet and that's going to help you get leaner and definitely see those abs, which you want. But it's all about just that expectations and what you want and how much do you want to break those links to your emotional attachment to food.
Well, and I think the other key to meal prep, or even just for me, grocery shopping in advance and kind of planning what I'm going to make. Otherwise, if I don't, then it's the convenience of eating out and you end up eating shit or too big of portions or whatever it may be. So.
Right, exactly. So when you're hungry and you tend to make bad decisions, even in the grocery store, if you're hungry going to the grocery store, that's actually one of the biggest things. Yeah. You started looking around, you're looking for this food. You're like, oh, there's those cookies over there in the center aisle, or oh, they're giving out this little dip. Costco is the worst at that.
Dude, try
Like, I
going to
love
Costco when you're
Costco.
hungry. And then I go to the checkout and I'm like, how did I just drop $200? I'm a single female and I can drop fat money at Costco.
Right, and they have like 9 different ladies selling you on, check out this little snack. Oh, it's right here with the little sausage, and then they got like all these people selling you on food, and it's like, you're right. You're like, yeah, I just came in here. I'm trying to be efficient and buy in bulk, but then you end up like buying $300, $400 worth of food, and you're a single female, like you said. You're like, dang, like how did I spend all this money? Yeah, whoops.
Well, and what I also want to touch on, again, going a little deeper, is you noted that relationships. So what I got out of that is your vibe attracts your tribe, right?
Exactly. Your vibe attracts your tribe. And, you know, my relationship kind of like motto is something my sister taught me years ago. There's people in your life for a reason, a season, and a lifetime. And it's your choice to decide how long they actually stay in your life.
Whoa, that is good. Repeat that. Reason, season, and a
A
lifetime.
reason, a season, and a lifetime. And she explained to me a season can be for like X amount of years. So someone that you know for like 10, 15, even 20 years, that season could just end up ending like really quickly.
Yeah.
And that's always stuck with me. Like, that quote alone is like, all right, so what about this person that came in my life at this point? Like, are they here for this reason, or what's going on in my life right now, or a season or a lifetime? And there's certain like values and, certain values that you like for you yourself that you have to kind of make that to see if these people fit in certain categories or not. Like, so I have like a certain like, I would say list or something that has to happen for it to be like a lifetime friendship, or something that I could see that's going to be that, or a season, or just that reason.
Yeah, and I think I definitely have some of my friendships or relationships are since I was a young girl, and then I've definitely had those friendships that now I get it. They were seasonal and they were fun at the time and they kind of fizzled out and like it's all good. And then I meet new people all the time. So I think we're
Yeah,
ever growing and evolving and people are going to come and go. It's not a bad thing.
exactly. And it's the reason why, like, with relationships, decided to dive like head first in is because, I'm going through a split with my ex fiance, and I wanted to figure out like what caused this, what's going on. And that made me look into me, but also a lot of friendships have ended like in 2017 that went on for like a decade, who I thought
Yeah.
were like, oh, like this is like a lifetime, but that season ended, and it ended like that, like quick. And it's like, all right, like, now I'm starting to like my criteria or how I place people in these categories started to evolve and started to like, all right, this needs to happen, this needs to happen. And, or I started to learn more about myself. So that's why relationships, that area is really key for me, because you're not just going to learn about, other people and just being in the moment and having good times. You're also going to learn about yourself, and it's going to continue to get better. And it's always a journey.
It's funny that we touched on this today because I recently had the exact same conversation with another friend of mine. He also ended his engagement. I think we all know by now I ended mine as well. So that's funny. All three of us ended engagements, but it was a catalyst to dive in and take care of ourselves and realize what's really important in life. And I definitely had some relationships end as well, but it's all good. Hindsight is 2020,
Yeah. Yeah, it's all good. And from our person that we study a lot, Tony Robbins, you got to blame. What does he say? Blame elegantly, or like he says, like I forgot. He talks about like when the relationships, when they end, like we tend to like get really frustrated, and mad at that person, but that person is always like helping us out, helping us find out either about ourselves, where we need to areas that we need to work on and build ourselves up in, and just continue to keep progressing. And so that's kind of where I'm at with that.
Yeah, I totally agree. All right, so you did this to me on your podcast. That's where I got it from, but I want to do some rapid fire questions for you.
All right, let's bring it.
Okay.
I'm ready.
The first one, what is one piece of advice that you would give to the audience or listeners to obtain the fitness lifestyle they desire?
I would say be patient with yourself. This is a journey, not a sprint. And we tend to like, oh my gosh, I'm not losing that 10 pounds right away, or I'm stuck here. Be patient and really just understand that you're on this journey and just keep moving forward. So be patient and keep moving forward.
I think that's huge because, nobody gained 20 pounds overnight. You're not going to lose it 20 pounds overnight.
Exactly.
Awesome. What is your go-to book?
Ooh, my go-to book?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Right now it's Brendan Bouchard's High Performance Habits. And I just can't wait to go to his event in Arizona, the High Performance Academy, with his event in March. And that's been like the book, like my go-to since it came out, because I just keep going back to those 6 habits that he pinpoints out in the book. And it's money. Yeah.
It's actually on my bookshelf. That's funny you bring it up because I saw it last night. But it's like this thick. It's super thick book, and I'm just not even ready to dive in.
You have to. You have to. He's also a big student of Tony as well. So he's got a lot of great stuff, and I'm just looking forward to everything with him in the book. So just jump into it.
It's in queue. Okay, what is a song that gets you jamming? What is just gets you living it up?
Like right now, or are we talking about like
right now?
Like a current song right now, or like it could be like an oldie, it could be like 90. I am thinking too hard because I have so many go-tos. I gotta say my ultimate favorite song is "Lose Yourself" by Eminem.
All right.
Ever since 8 Mile, man. Ever since 8 Mile came out back in the day, like I don't care. I can always go back to that song. It gets me in that right headspace where I still feel like an underdog. I still feel like, when I was a teenager, someone putting labels on me saying, oh, you're going to be diagnosed with depression and ADD and ADHD. You'll always be on medication. And no, I'm going to like keep doing me. I'm always going to get hype. And I still picture myself as a kid when that song first came out, putting on that hoodie, having that headphones on, and just being like, I'm about to take on the world. And I still do that to this day when I have to get in the zone and just get ready to bring the joy every day.
Awesome. Okay, last question. What is a quote you live by?
The quote that I live by, I think I said it earlier. There's people in your life for a reason, a season, and a lifetime. It's up to you to decide which area they're in. And yeah, I live by that because the quality of our life depends on the quality of our communications and relationships. Tony Robbins too.
Totally agree.
So, probably those two. It's all about that area. That's probably what I live by.
Okay. If listeners want to get a hold of you and learn more about FitLife Academy, how can they connect?
So you can definitely check out the FitLife Academy podcast. I'm always bringing you guys stuff every week, or just reach out to me at dalechube.com or Instagram at dalechube and Facebook as well at dalechube, DALECHUBE.
Awesome. Dale, thank you so much for joining me this week. I loved chatting with you.
Anytime, Heather. Thanks for having me.